Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another JavaScript project. So in this project, we're going to build an online image processing software that will take the image from the user and convert into symbol art. So this is the online application we're going to build in this entire JavaScript project without using any backend, without using any API calls. That's all going to happen right on the client side. So before I move ahead into those nitty-gritty details about this project, let me give you a quick overview that what are the functionality we have included on this image processing software, which is absolutely ready to use and deploy and drive traffic on it. So here I have already opened this application on my browser, and for all of your convenience I have also deployed this website, this application on Netlify. So if you want to check from your end, I'll provide the link in the description, so you can click and you can come and you can check everything from your end. So let me give you a quick overview that what are the functionality we have included, then we'll talk about the architecture. Okay, now let's talk about the functionality of this project. So when a user visits this application for the very first time, this is the exact UI they will find, and you can notice one thing on my right hand side, I'm displaying an image. And the reason why I am displaying this, because sometimes what happens when a user come to any website, they hesitate to give any kind of data. So before they upload their data and generate the digital art, I want them to test. If they want, they can test from here with this demo image. So simply all they have to do is simply slide this one, and all the changes will start taking place on this image. And you have noticed one thing, that these changes taking place in real time. And for achieving this functionality, we have not included any external packages, any libraries. That's all we are doing with pure vanilla JavaScript, and that's we're going to talk about in details about object-oriented programming and all those things, all those nitty-gritty things which you need to know to create this kind of digital art. And if I slide, and you can see it will get thicker and thicker, and this value is also getting increases. So currently I have assigned value is undefined, that's why it's writing undefined to the images. And you notice one more thing, that here I'm ignoring specific color and I'm targeting only certain color. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in details, but that's all happening in real time. Okay, if you want to upload your image, simply click here on upload, and you can click on this image from your desktop or from your mobile phone. And here you have two options: if you want to go with the default value which we have assigned, or if you want to set the value from your end. So if I go with the default value, all I have to do is simply click on this generate art, and you can see here I have my images, and that's happened on real time. And if you want to create the art with the default value, I can do the same thing. I can simply slide it, and all the changes will start taking place. Okay, as you can see, you have noticed one thing, that here specific colors are getting selected and some colors are getting ignored. Okay, so we'll go on to talk about that as well in detail. And the font size is also getting increases. But what if I assign this icon and then I try to create the art? So simply you have to pick all together all the icons which you want to display, all the symbols. Okay, so here you can see the moment you will reach your limit. So altogether here I'm allowing 13 characters. It's totally up to you if you want to take 100 or maybe less than that. It's totally up to you. So to altogether we have 13. Simply click on this generate art. All the data is updated in backend. Now you can add the symbols which you have selected here right on the image. So simply click here, and as you can see right now the changes taking place on the base of the images. Okay, so this is how this application works. If you want to store the data in the background, you can do that, connecting with your backend, but I'm not doing that as well. I'm trying to keep it right on the browser, so user can come and visit and you can use it and they can go. Okay, so this is how you can generate the art. And earlier I built this one, and I thought that let's make a little attractive. So I was build this one, and then you added this UI part. So I thought that you can able to build a better application which can be used by other. So here this one is also in the same psychology I have used, the same methodology and the same functionality I have added. As you can see, the changes is taking place only in this color, but I'm totally ignoring this darker color. So that's the logic I have built. If you want to add the symbol, certain symbol to this dark color, you can do it very easily. Here I have done the same thing. This one will have a higher icon size, so percentage size, coding size. This is what we're going to build in this. And now let's talk about the responsiveness. Okay, so now let's talk about the responsiveness of this application. So if I come here and if I squeeze it, so this is how it's going to look on a mobile device. Right now you can see this is a simple UI structure. You can simply come here and this is how it will look. If you click here, a pop-up will come up like this, and you can simply upload it from here, and you can select this one and upload, and simply select the icons, and we can generate the art. You can click here, you can come and you can let me select the other image so you guys can see, and it's working fine. Okay, it's the same image. Let me select some other image. So let's come here and let's me go all the way down to this. That's this one. Okay, select this one, and as you can see the image is changed, and now I can do my thing. So the changes is taking place. So it's 100% responsive for all the devices. Nice pop-up, nice animation I am included. If you hover on this, it will go up, and when you click, it will come down. Okay, same thing for the button. So this is what we're going to build, and let's come back to my code editor. So here I have already written the code for this project. As you can see, it's a huge product, and here we are following object-oriented programming. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot of things about object-oriented programming, and that will help you to become a good developer. Okay, so you're going to write a lot of JavaScript code, and I'll try to explain as brief as I can. Okay, remove all these codes and let's start from scratch. So let me select this part and delete one, and I'm going to do the same thing for this. Delete this one, and I'm going to do the same thing for this. Okay, so I'll come here all the way down, and I will simply remove this class as well. Remove this class. Right now you can see that I have a simple HTML document, and here I have a CSS file, HTML document, and JavaScript, which is empty. CSS is empty, and in my HTML I have this boilerplate. For the icon I'm using this website. I'll provide in the starter code, so you can get it from there. So to get this starter code, all you can do is simply come here and let's open daulathussain.com. type daulathussain.com. simply type daulathussain Hussain, and click on the very first link. It's my website, all the resources I provide on my website, so you can visit and you can check everything from here, and you can download all the codes. Okay, now let's go to the blog section, and you will come in the blog section, and here you can able to find all the project which I have worked on. Currently I'm working on an API development course, so you can able to find the playlist on my YouTube channels, or you can come here and you can get all the starter code. And I have also made a complete tutorial on full stack e-commerce project, so you can check this one also. So it's available on my YouTube channel, and this is the e-commerce project. So let's come here, and this is the one which I'm talking about. So here I have provided all the startup files, so you can simply visit this one. So you will come to this article, simply come here and open into a new tab, and from here you can check everything from your end. So this is the application we're going to build, and all the starter code you will find down below, so you can download it from there. Okay, so now let's come back to my Visual Code Studio and let's start building this application. So let me cut all this tab and let's start coding. So let's get started from HTML, then we'll move to CSS, then we'll move to JavaScript. So there is a timeline is given in the description, so if you want to watch only JavaScript or CSS or HTML, so you can jump directly from there. So now let's start it coding. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll take a class with home. I'll take another div with a container class. I will take another div with the add info class. Inside that I will take h1 with a class of message, and in this I will type my message, convert your. Inside that I will take a two span. In first one will contain the image and second one will contain the span. Okay, I'll come out of that. I'll take another div with the upload, btn, wrapper, and image. So this is the class I will take, and I will take a button and I will assign a class upload btn. Okay, and upload a file. I'll come out of that. I'll take a input field. Type is going to be file and name is going to be my file. I'll take a id with call image code. Okay, simply come down. I'll take another div with a show class, and I will take a paragraph. I will assign an id your symbol, and for the time being I'm giving this hardcode text. Okay, we're going to change this dynamically. So select your 13 symbols. So altogether we're going to take 13 symbols from the user. Okay, so that's why I'm doing this hardcode. So simply come down, and I'll take another class symbol, and I'll assign a button. Simply replicate this couple of times. So and simply change all these icons, this buttons. Okay, dollar sign, this one percentage, so this. So let me do it very quickly. So I have assigned all the symbols which I want to take from the user in my button. You can feel free to use any icon in these places. So in the last two button I have taken star and arrow. So if you want to add the symbols, HTML symbols, you can do that as well. Okay, So we are done with our button. So let me remove this and assign this one. It's looking perfect. Let's come out of that, take another button. I will assign a class. This will call submit, and inside this I will say generate image art. I'll take a span, I'll assign a class close btn, and in this I'll take a I class and assign a class, and here I'm going to add my icon, so multiplier. So this icon is coming because I'm using that icon library, so most of you guys already know which one I use, so that one is really very, very popular. So this is the icon because I use this many times, so I know that. I'll come out of that. I'll take another div with a class of display. Inside this I will take a canva where I'm going to display all the art. Okay, so I will assign a id canvas, and I'll take another div with a control class. Inside that I will take a label, and this will call resolutions, and id is going to be also resolutions label, and in this I will say resolutions 5 pixels. So we're going to change this text dynamically when the user will slide it, and that data will update it. Okay, so this is how it's look. Let's come here and let's see in the search console. Let's try to bring it down. So this is how it's look. Let's make on desktop. Okay, it's look perfect. And let's come here and let's take another input field, and this time this is going to be range because I want a slider. Okay, I will assign an id to resolution, and a name is going to be resolution as well. So minimum 1, maximum 20, and value is going to be 1. Okay, so I will take another div with the class of open. This is going to be my open button, and I will assign my icon. So make sure you use the same icon, or you can use any icon. So this is the code which you have to use it. I'll come down. I will take another div with the overlay class, and inside this I will take a h4, and this will have a class of mobile logo, and inside this I will type an image effect. Okay, so this is how it's look. Everything's look perfect. Okay, let's come up and let's see. So looks good. So let's come here and let's go to this txt file. So this file is already provided to you. So if you want to get this code and this file, this startup files, visit dollarthousand.com where I have already provided all this code. But I recommend you to just simply pause the video and just copy from here. So these are the color variables which I'm using: my main color, my background color, shadow, light color, and main background color. And this one is the box shadow color which I have defined, and this is the font family. So these are the variable I have already created. Okay, so let me grab this all, come here in my css. Okay, and let's put that inside the root. So these are my variables, and let's come down here. I'll take a html tag, and a font size is going to be 32.5%, because what it does, because most of the value which I'm going to use in this project is going to be in RAM, okay, not in pixels, and by default 1 RAM is equal to 16 pixels. So here what I'm saying, by providing this font size value to 62.5%, is that this time if I use 1 RAM, it will automatically convert to 1 RAM equal to 10 pixels. Okay, so this is the main funda why I'm using this 62.5%. I'll take the body. Inside that I will take a background color, and here I will take my custom variable color. I'll provide top is going to be 48%, left is going to be 50%, transform, translate -50%, and -50%. I'll come down, and here I will take position is going to be absolute, font family is going to be right here. Come here in my text, copy this and simply paste it. Okay, this is the font family which I'm using. So this looks quite promising. As you can see on the browser, it's looking really great. So let's come down, and here we can take font size is going to be 2 RAM. So this looks perfect, and user selection is going to be none, and overflow is going to be hidden. So it's look good, and let's do something for the resolution. So everything's looking great. So let's copy the container. Okay, save it. Come here, container, and box shadow is going to be my custom variables, and min height is going to be 90%, width is going to be 19 RAM, and border radius is going to be 1 RAM. Display is going to be grid, and grid template column is going to be 2FR, 4FR. So this styling is not taking place. What's the matter here? So let's see. Okay, let's come here. Okay, I miss R. Okay, simply provide R, and you can see right now everything's looking quite good. Okay, simply come down. I'll target my add info container, and I will assign a padding 4 RAM. Text align is going to be center. Line height is going to be 1.4. So this looks great. Okay, and this looks great. Let's come out of that. I'll take a H1, and our font size is going to be 3 RAM, and I will type my span, and this will have a background color, this custom variable color is going to be this main BG color, and padding is going to be 1.5 RAM, and transform is going to be skew x 35 degree. So this looks perfect. So we are getting that style. Simply come down, let's come here and simply copy this entire button container and paste here. So position is going to be relative, and overflow hidden. Display is going to be inline block, and I'll tap this BTN. Okay, border is going to be 2 pixels solid, and my custom color, this one, and color is going to be, again, my custom color is icon color is this. Let's come here, background color, this one. Okay, looks great. Padding is going to be 1.4 RAM, 2 RAM from left and right, and border radius is going to be 8 RAM. So let's make it to 8. Okay, and font size is going to be 2 RAM. Font width is going to be bold. Box shadow is going to be my custom box shadow. So it's look great. As you can see, all the stylings which we are applying, it's absolutely looking amazing. So let's come back. I'll come here, and here I'll target my upload BTN wrapper input field. Okay, inside that I will type, and the file type is type, it's input. Okay, then font size is going to be 10 RAM. Position is going to be absolute, left 0, top 0, opacity 0. So this looks great. Okay, let's come back here and let's remove this one and copy this show button. Okay, background color is going to be my custom icon color. Margin top is going to be 3 RAM. Padding is going to be 0.5. Top and bottom and left and right 1 RAM. So looks great. Okay, come here. Text align is going to be left. Border radius is going to be 0.5 RAM. Color is going to be my main BG color, and font size is going to be 1.3 RAM. Height is going to be 3 RAM. Position is going to be relative. Border is going to be 2 pixels solid, and this custom color, icon color. So this looks perfect. Show P, and position is going to be absolute. Top is going to be -0.5 RAM. Font size is going to be 1.5 RAM, and margin left is going to be 7 RAM. So this looks quite good. I think we have to reduce the margin from the right hand side. So let's come back here, and green, bolder, 2 pixels solid, and this green yellow color. And this class I'm creating because when I will take the input from the user, so once they have successfully uploaded the image, I want to display this green class around the selection area, so the upload button and the symbols area. Okay, so that's why I'm taking this one. I'll come here, I will copy this symbol, come here, and I'll take the symbol, and display is going to be grid template column, repeat 7 1FR, justify content center, align item is going to be center, and margin top is going to be 3 RAM, gap is going to be 1 RAM. So this buttons looks great. As you can see, we have successfully aligned the button in 7 grids, and we have gap in the buttons, okay, around the buttons. So it's look great. Let's come back here. We'll target the symbol buttons, and border is going to be 0, padding is going to be 1 RAM, and background color is going to be var icon color is going to be var this main BG color, and this border radius is going to be 1 RAM. Transition all 2.0.2 seconds. Cursor pointer, font size is going to be 2 RAM. So as you can see, it's look quite big and it's look really great. So our buttons are really looking great. Okay, let's target that button on over effect. So transform is going to be translate y minus 3 pixels, and dark shadow is going to be this color. Okay, and on active I want to make it, I want to bring the button little downwards on the active, on the click event. So this time I will say transform translate y minus 1 pixels. So first it will have a 3 pixels upward, but when I will click it will come down to 1 pixel. Okay, border shadow is going to be box shadow. So as you can see, it's looking great. So we're having this styling, it's going up and coming down. Okay, let's come back here, let's come to this and copy this submit button and simply paste it. So margin top is going to be 3 RAM, padding is going to be 1 RAM, 2 RAM from left and right, border radius is going to be 2 RAM, background transparent and transition all 0.2 millisecond, and this one is would be cursor pointer. Okay, so it's looking good, that button. So let's come down here, let's copy that all and paste here and simply remove this classes to submit. Okay, now we'll have the same styling, so change this portion as well. So simply cut this one and now this one, so we'll have the same styling like the button. Okay, simply come down here. So let's come here, copy this close button, and display is going to be none because I want to hide this on a desktop. We want to display only on the mobile phone. Okay, simply copy this and come back here, mobile logo display is going to be none. I want to hide this as well. So as you can see, it's successfully not displaying. Now let's come here and simply copy this open and just add a display property to none as well. So okay, this button is also gone. Now let's come down, let's come here and simply copy this. Let's where it is, yeah, this canvas. So I have assigned an ID. So width is going to be 40, so width is going to be 400 pixels, height is going to be 400 pixels, and border is going to be 1 pixel solid var, and this my icon color. Okay, padding is going to be 0.5 RAM, box shadow is going to be this custom variables, and border radius is going to be 4 RAM. So this looks nice. Okay, simply cut this and assign let's say, okay, margin top is going to be 4 RAM. So this looks great. Now let's bring it down and simply copy this one, this portion. So simply come here, display is going to be like grid, and place content is going to be center. So center, and margin top is going to be 4 RAM. Copy the same thing, and this one is going to be border radius. So right now we have this nice effect. So come down here and we'll take a target the controllers, and padding is going to be 1 RAM, margin top is going to be 2 RAM. So right now we have some space this on this. Okay, input type range, and height is going to be 39 pixels, WebKit appearance none, margin 10 pixels 0, and color, background color is going to be my variables color. Width is going to be 100%. So as you can see, it's not displaying, it's working fine. So let's come here and input type range and focus. So outline is going to be none. Simply copy this part and paste here, and this time on WebKit slider runnable track, and width is going to be 100%, and height is going to be 12 pixels, cursor pointer, and animate 0.2 millisecond, box shadow this custom variable color, background var icon color. So simply remove this to 1 pixels, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, and this. So it's working fine. So then border radius 4 pixels, border 2 pixels solid, and this color F2 7B 7F. So right now we are getting this nice border color. Simply copy this part and come down, and this time we select the focused and WebKit slider thumbnail track. So background is going to be this custom variable color, this icon color, and it's working fine. Okay, let's come up here and paste the same, and this time I want to target WebKit slider thumb and border. So border shadow is going to be 1 pixels, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, FA 6A 6A, light gray. Okay, and border is going to be 2 pixels solid, F2 7B 7F. Height is going to be 30 pixels, width is going to be 30 pixels, border radius is going to be 0, background is going to be this icon color, cursor pointer, WebKit appearance none, and margin top is going to be minus 11 pixels. So it looks perfect. As you can see right now, it's looking absolutely great. Everything's working fine. We have to fix this button. So let's come to the HTML part and let's see what is the problem. So here we have to add this minus. Okay, and we need to add one more button. So let's copy this and let's change this to something question and slash. So right now it's working fine, everything's working fine. If you can see that I'm clicking on the button and we having this pop-up, so we can upload that. So all the functionalities are working absolutely great. Let's come back to the CSS and let me give this command media query, and here we're going to write all the media queries for this project. Okay, we want to make it responsive so anybody can access on a mobile device as well. So I'll take a media query. Max width is going to be EM, and body background color is going to be my custom color, main BG color, and top is going to be 0 and left is going to be 0. Transform translate 0% and 0%. Position is going to be relative. I'll target the container. Display is going to be grid, and width is going to be 95 VW. Height is going to be 73 VH, and grid template column is going to be 1FR. So this looks quite great. Okay, so everything is aligned good for the mobile device. And let's come down. Grid template area, so first 2 and the other one is 1. So I'll target the add info nth child 1. Grid template area is going to be 1, and I will copy the same thing. This one is called 2, and grid template area is going to be 2. So as you can see, we have changed the place of the container of the div. Okay, we made the second div to the first and first div to the second. Okay, that looks great. And width is going to be, let's say, 73 VH to this as well, and margin is going to be 0.5 RAM to the first container. So let's have a look. Okay, now let's come here, let's target the canvas, and width is going to be 300 pixels and height is going to be 300 pixels, to a little smaller. And let's work on this button. So display margin top is going to be 2 RAM. Add info, and this will have a Z index to 2. Background color, this main BG color, position relative, and display is going to be none. So the reason why I made display none, because I want to open this div, this input field on click event. Okay, I'll target the close BTN and display is going to be blocked. So I hide the close BTN on a desktop mode, but I want to make it visible on a mobile phone. Okay, so that's why display block. And the reason why it's not displaying, because here we have hide the add info, which we going to open it with the on click event, and in that div we have this close BTN. Okay, that's why you can't see that, but everything will come sense. Okay, just wait. So here I will target my open BTN and display is going to be blocked. So here we have our button. Okay, now let's hide this. Okay, let's come down here. I'll target my mobile logo. Display is going to be blocked, and let's assign some styling to that. So padding, pad position is going to be absolute, and transform is going to be xq minus 25 degrees, so little bit left is going to be 0.5 ram, font size is going to be 3 ram, and box shadow is going to be my custom box shadow, padding is going to be 0.5 ram, and left and right 2 ram. Top is going to be 95%. So as you can see, it's looking quite good. We are getting this nice effect. Let's come here in open. Position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 104%, and left is going to be 45%. And this box shadow is going to be a custom box shadow color, and font size is going to be 4 ram, padding is going to be 2 ram and 1 ram from left and right, cursor pointer, transition all 0.2 millisecond. Okay, this looks good. Border radius is going to be 5 ram from all the sides, so nice thumb effect we are getting. Now let's target the open median on over effect. So transform translate y is going to be 3 pixels, simply copy this, and the on active is 1 pixel, simply change this to pixels, not ps. So as you can see, the moment I'm taking it, it's going up and coming down. So let's come here and just simply uncomment this, so simply comment out this display none. Okay, and let's style that all. Right now it's here, so let's come down and where it is. So here we have target that. So add info dot close btn. So position is going to be absolute, top is going to be 0%, right is going to be 4%, transition all 0.2 millisecond, cursor pointer, so you can see that button is looking good. So it's looking great. Now let's target the close btn on over effect. So what we can do here, so we'll say transform rotate 180 degree, and let's add an active as well. So this one will say rotate y minus 2 pixels. So you can see it's rotating beautifully. So let's come here in my HTML, simply copy that overlay effect. Okay, overlay div, and let's come here all the way down here. Position absolute, top is going to be 0, left is going to be 0, width is going to be 100%, height is going to be 100 vh, and background color is going to be this light 5c 577368 cursor pointer, and z index is going to be 1. So as you can see, it's working fine. Now what we can do, we have to fix this add info. Okay, so let's come here, let's display set to be none for a while, because I want to open that on a click event. That's why I made it none. So let's target the box, and display is going to be block, and position is going to be absolute, and where it is, so simply open it. So right now it's not displaying and everything's working fine. So I want, when I should click on the button, and the pop-up will open, all that open. Okay, so it's everything's working fine on desktop, and let's close this and let's come to the JavaScript. So I'll take a variable btn, and I'll target the button document dot query selector all btn, and simply come, because here we have all the buttons, so that's why I'm targeted in one go, and because of that, and for that I'm using query selector all buttons. I'll simply replicate this, and I'll come here and I'll copy this your symbol, simply change this to your symbol, and change this one query by id. Okay, this one is message document dot query selector and message. Simply replicate it, and let's copy the submit, change this to submit, replicate this one, come back here and simply get the info and simply change that to add info. Simply replicate it one more time. Let's come back here and let's get that this overlay and simply remove it. Replicate it one more time. Okay, now let's come back in HTML and simply copy this where it is, where it is, simply copy. Okay, and paste this close btn, simply remove this and replicate one more time. Come here and simply grab this show and remove this as well. Select this all and remove. One more time, let's come in HTMLs and simply copy this button, because this is the one which allows us to take the value from the user. Okay, so let's repeat one more time, open, and this one is also an open. So okay, this will, let's call it mobile open, and let me give this comment functions. So this is where we're going to write all the functions of this open and close all this. So I'll get that mobile open, and I will add an add event listener on that, and I'm looking for a click, and I will run an arrow function. I'll target the add info, I'll add a class list. So let's come here, and this is the class. So as you remember, this is the class which I'm going to assign to my hide event. So this class will add it to the overlay and the add info. So I'll simply copy this class, and I will add here box. I will simply replicate this, and I'll get the overlay. Okay, so as you can see, it's working fine. So let's come here, and where it is, so you can see I'm clicking and the box is opening. So let's come here, I'll target all the button, and I will run a for each element. Each button will have an add event listener, click, and I'll run a arrow function. I'm looking for events, that's why I'm provided e, and I will take the value, and I will take the e.target.inner text. So why I have provided this inner text, because every button has a text, some symbol, so I want to grab that text from the button. So that's why I have taken, and that value will store, and when I will click, that value will the value will store in the value. Okay, this in this variable. I'll take Sir console this one and value. So let me show you. So the moment I will click, as you can see, I'm getting plus I. So the moment I'm clicking all this button, I can able to get the values of that. So as you can see, everything's working fine. I'll come up here, I'll take another variables, symbols array. So here I'm going to push all these icons which I'm getting from the user on click event, and I'm going to push that into my array. Okay, so that's why I'm taking this empty array. So I'll come here, I'll take let number is equal to 1, because altogether I want to take close to 13 icons, 13 symbols from the user. So that's why I have assigned this num is equal to 1. So once the user provide 13 icon, I want to stop the function which prevent the user to add more than 13. Okay, so that's why I have taken this one. So what I can do now, simply come down here, I'll take this num value and plus. So every time the user will click, this value will get increased. So let me console log that out, num. Okay, so if I'm clicking 1, as you can see, I'm getting 2. If I click one more time, I'm getting all 5, 6, 9, 10. So the num value is keep increasing. Okay, that's working fine. I'll take a if statement. I will check if number is less or equal to 13, then I'll push that symbols array into my symbols array. I'll use the push method, and I will push the value in my symbols array, and symbol text content, and I will use the deconstruction of that icons. Okay, so I'll use the join method on that. So here I have taken this if statement, and what I'm checking here, if the number is less or equal to 13, if it is true, then only I want to push the value which I'm getting from the user into my symbols array. So this is what this symbols array dot push value means. And in the second line, what I'm doing, I'm taking the symbols array dot text content, and I'm using all the arrays which I'm getting from the user, which are storing in symbols array, and I'm using the deconstruction method. Okay, so I'm using the spread operators, which will spread all the values which are there in the array, and I'm using the join method, which will return me a string, so I can easily able to display on the browser to the user. So okay, they can see that which icon they are selecting. So that's the whole funda of this. Okay, let's take console log this symbols array to make the sense better. As you can see, I'm getting an array, I'm getting the symbols, and I'm getting that array length. Right now it's 0. If I click one more time, still I'm getting 0. Why? Let's come here and let's console log and bring it. Okay, because what I was doing, I was consoling log on the top of the if array, before I was pushing, so that's why the array was empty, because when it was running first time it was empty. So let's bring it inside the if statement and let's simply save it. Okay, let's come here and do one more. As you can see, I'm getting the value, but somehow the arrays is not displaying. Okay, this one is equal, not minus. As you can see, this time I'm getting that icons inside an array. So 2 and arrow max, so all the icon I'm getting in the array. So I will click, I will have an array of icons. So it's absolutely working fine. So this logic is working. Let's do one more time and simply grab this. Let's come here. So here I want to display. So as you can see, I want to display the text on the browser. So the moment that the user will clicking the button and it will display. So all it's displaying, it's working fine, and that's working because of this join method which I have used on the array. Is your symbols.text contents is an element where I want to display, and this is the deconstruction, and I'm using the join method which will return me a string and with a space. Okay, that's the whole funda. So if I click, I will get all the symbols displaying there and user can identify. Okay, everything's working fine. So this logic is really working. So this is working fine. Let's come down here. I'll take another if statement, and this time if number is equal to 13, then I want to add a show class, this green. Okay, this is the green class we have created, and we're going to add if the user have 13 symbols. Okay, so let's simply type it 13. As you can see, it's working fine. So the moment user will reach 30 symbols, it will automatically get added. So this logic is also working. We are writing that. Now simply just remove this one and format this entire thing. So this looks great. Now let's work on this upload btn. So let's come in my document and let's try to upload an image. So if anybody will click on this image, I want to get that. Okay, I want to get the image data. So let's write the logic for that. So let's come here. I'll say let image data. Initially, this is because the reason why I have taken let, because I'm going to update this image data time to time. So once the browser will load, on that time it will have a different data, and when the user will give the image on that time, I want to change the data to the user input. Okay, so that's why I've taken let, and let's click on this button. Okay, no, let's come here and I'll target the, okay, I have to make the changes here. It's image code. Okay, and simply target that image code and run add event listener on that, and I'm looking for a change. Okay, change, change, and again I will run and I will create a function like read file. So this is the function which I'm going to create. So what I'm doing, I'm running add event listener on image code, and what I'm looking for a change, and this is the read file function which I'm going to create. Okay, so let's come up here and I will create a function with read file. Inside that I will write if statement this dot files and this dot files 0. So here what I'm doing, so here this refers to the current document. Okay, so the input I'm getting for the user, I'm referring to that. So that's why I have used this. Okay, I'll come down, I will take another variable let, and this time I'll say code new file reader. So this methods I have not written from my side. It's an inbuilt JavaScript feature which gives you the data of the image in a 64 byte. Okay, so I'll take the code and I will run add event listener on that, and I'm looking for a load event. So in that I will run a function and I'm looking for an event. In that what I will do, I will take another variable, this will call image string. Okay, and e.target result. So the final result I'm looking for. So when the user will upload the image and when the entire process gets completed, and this function will load, and this function will generate some code on behalf of the image. So I want to looking for that code value. Okay, let's take another variable image data and let's assign this image string to this one and image data. Okay, so image data. So I'm simply updating that the variable which I have taken outside image data. Okay, and let's come, I'll take a code and I'll use this property which is again coming from the JavaScript. I'm calling the read as data URL on code, the variable which I have taken on the top. Okay, and inside this read files 0 index, I'll call my upload btn, add a class list green. So again, once the user successfully upload the image, I want to provide that green border. And let's console log out once more time. So this time image data. So let's come here in the browser, upload it, and here you can see, here I get all the data which is in 64. So successfully I have converted the entire image into a 64. So I can read every single pixels of the image, and I can place the symbols on the color by analyzing the colors on the image. Okay, so if you want to check that the code you have got is the image or not, then you can do it in this way. Simply come to your open your Chrome browser and type convert base 64 to image. So, and you can pick any image. Just click on this and simply paste your code. So as you can see, successfully we have converted the entire 64-bit code to image, and you can download it from here as well. So everything's working fine. Let's come here and let's pick a image, and not this one. So let's upload one more time. Let's do it one more time and simply come up here and paste. So as you can see, this is the image, and you can download it as well. Remove it, and this is the image. So this is how you can convert your 64 bits into an image and image to 64-bit. And this is what the function we have written, read file. Okay, this is the function we have written, file read, that's converting the image into a image data. So let's come here and let's come down, image effect function script. So whatever code we have written so far in JavaScript is the basic course. In that, what we are doing, we are opening the pop-up and we are taking the data from the user. So now we're going to write the actual algorithm which will analyze the entire image frame by frame, pixels by pixels, and according to the base of the color it will assign symbols. Okay, so this is the main part of this complete tutorial, because whatever we have covered so far you can easily you have understood, but here you have to be a little more conscious because this is where the things getting very advanced. Okay, so let's come down here. I'll take a variable canvas, and I'm looking for a document dot get element by id and canvas. I'll take another variable ctx and canvas dot get context 2d. So they are 3d, they are 2d, but this is a image processing software, so it's a 2d. Okay, we are building an image processing software which will take an image and it will convert into a symbol. So it's an image processing software we are building, so it will come in the 2d platform. So I will take a 2d. Okay, let's come down. I'll take another variable image1, and this time I'll call this new image. This will create an image element in my HTML, and I'll target this image1 src, which stand for source, and here I have to provide the source of the images. So you have seen that we have generated that 64-byte code of the images, and that code we're going to take. Okay, so simply click on this and let's generate that code. Click here and simply copy this entire code and paste here. And as you can see, this is a huge code. Let me word wrap and let me show you. As you can see, this code is really very big. It's a huge code, and all these codes we're going to analyze is on pixels base, so we can easily able to perform our work. So let's make it in one line. Okay, so let's zoom a bit. Oh, it's working fine. Now we have to work on the, let's come here, let's on this. Okay, on buttons. So we have to work on the button. So I'll target my submit button and close button together. So what I'm doing, I'm taking an array. Inside that I'm taking the submit button and a close button and running a for each on that, and on each button I'm adding add element listener. What I'm looking for a click, and I'm running an arrow functions. And this time what I'm doing, image code.src. so this time when the value I'm getting from the user, I'm going to assign here. So let's copy this data image, and this is the value I want to assign to my src. So then again I will take that src, I'll take my add info class, and I will remove that box class, and overlay class I will remove that as well. So once again, let me repeat what I'm doing here. I'm taking an array. In that array, I'm passing button, close button, and submit button. On that, I'm running a for each, and on each button, when the user will click on that, I'm running adding a add event listener. I'm looking for a click, and I'm running an arrow functions. So on that click, what I'm doing, when the user will click on submit or a close button, I'm taking the image data and assigning to image code. Okay, image code. And then I'm adding an add event list, add info, and adding a class remove box, because I want to hide that pop-up. And again I'm also hiding the overlay. So this is what I'm doing. So let's fix this one. Okay, now it's good. As you can see, it's working fine. Our close button, submit button, both are working. Now we have to work on the slider button. I'll take a variable input slider and document get element by id, and here I will get that slider. Simply resolutions, and I'll take another variable. This one will call input label, and document dot get element by id. Inside that I have to take this one, a resolution label. Okay. And now I'm going to use object-oriented programming, because this will make our work very easy, because we have to create certain styling over and over again. So that's why I'm going within this approach. Okay, I'm going to use object-oriented. So I'll take a class and I will assign that my effects. Inside that I will take a private field. This will call image cells, and I will take the private field which will call pixels. It will have an empty array. I will call my ctx width and height. So here what I have done, I have taken an image cell which contain all the arrays which will generate programmatically until take all the pixels in a private field, and which will get from the image data, and ctx, which basically stand for the canvas, and width and height. And the reason why I have made this private field, because I don't want that I accidentally use from external function. Okay, that's why. And here I will take a constructor. Inside this I will pass a ctx width and height, and that I will take this, and this will refer to ctx, and width to width, and height to height. So whenever I will get pass any value through the constructor, so when I will pass the value in this class, so this ctx width and height, so here I'm by performing this syntax, this dot my private field, and then this, so I'm updating this also. So this will have, so this value will assign to this ctx width and height. Okay, so this is how we are doing it. I'll take this and ctx dot image draw, and again this image draw function is a canvas property, I'm not making up. And here I will pass the image and x and y coordinate and width and height, which is coming from my private field. And okay, now let's come here, let's get the image on load function. So here I'm creating a function which will run when the image will load. Okay, when the browser will get load, on that time this function will execute it. So I'll type this function start, sorry, let's call it image load. I'll get my canvas width equal to image width, and canvas height equal to image height. I'll take new my effect. So here I'm calling my class which I have created. Okay, so my new my effect, I'm making this mistake. Why? I'll call ctx and image one width and heights. So this is what we are passing here. As you can see in my constructor, I'm passing the reference of the canvas width and height, and that's what I'm passing here in my new effects, which will create instant of each of the object. Okay, so as you can see, it's already looking quite hazy. Okay, let's remove it, and it's looking great. So let's take a variable in a variable. So if this will call image effect, and let me update here out of this function, so I can easily able to access in my other function. Okay, so image effect, okay, working fine. Let's come here in my constructor. I'll say this pixels equal to this ctx get image data. Get image data will provide me the information about the image, okay, in terms of array, and you will see everything. Let me write the code, then I will explain you. So in this, I'm looking for x and y, this dot width and height. So generally what will happen, that I'm going for x and y, it will start from there, means 0 0 coordinate, and it will go all the way to full width and full height of the canvas. Let's come here, let's console this pixel, okay, this dot pixel value, okay, and let's console log it in. Let's upload an image. Let's make this side by side, and let's upload this image. And as you can see here, I get that data. So in image data, as you can see, unt8 clamp array, and this 3686400, which you can see because the canvas width I have assigned is 300 pixels 300, so it's happening on that range. Okay, and in that we have a list of an array. So this value open up here, you can see inside that we have this all value. Inside that we have this 4 values, 0 1 2 and 3. So 0 stand for green, 1 stand for red, and 2 stand for blue, and 3 stand, which is also 3 called alpha, which stand for white. Okay, so here what is happening, this get image data function is reading every single pixels of the image which user are providing. So each pixels contain these 3 value. So altogether, how many pixels we have? 368 6400. It's even hard to pronounce what the value is. So this many pixels we are getting from that image, and each pixels contain this 3 values. So this is what you have to be very concerned when you want to create a creative art with the images. Okay, so here we are reading the pixels value. So 0 stand for green, 1 stand for blue, red, and 2 stand for blue, and the 3 is generally called an alpha, which is a white. That's you have to keep in mind. And we're going to use this value to assign the colors, assign the symbols to these images. All this value you can see. So let's come here, let's get rid of this and simply console log out it. So here you can see that this time what I'm doing, I'm simply cutting that console log and putting in my onload functions. I try to access this private field out of this constructor. So this time I'm not able to access the data of this pixels. Okay, so if I try to access the data, I can't able to find that, because this value is only allowed, you can easily able to access this private field inside the constructor, not outside the constructor. Okay, because in today's time all the programmings are happening to the object-oriented programming, which makes things very easy. So make sure, so I must tell you that you have to be good. If you want to be a good JavaScript developer, you have to be good in object-oriented programming. So here I will take another private field. This will call a scan image, and this function will scan the image frame by frame, pixels by pixels. Okay, inside this I will pass the cell. So this data, this cell size, I will get from the user. Okay, the user will provide me this pixels value, and that's what I'm going to pass inside this, and on the base of the value I'm going to scan. So this function will scan the image. I will say this image cell, so all the array which we are storing, that's what I'm calling here, and I will run a for loop. Let y 0, y is less than this dot pixels length, and y plus cell size. So here what I will do, so I'm running a for loop, and inside the for loop I'm going to run another for loop. Okay, first it will move on a right hand direction. Once it will reach the end of the right hand side, then it will come to the next pixels. means to the second A. So this is how you have to visualize. I will take another for each inside the for each, and this term will call x-axis. So this for each will move on x-axis, and the first one is the first for each will move on y-axis. So x is less than pixels length, and this will call width, and this will call height, and same x plus cell size. So let me explain what is happening here. I'm running two for loops, one external for loop and the other one is external for loop. So when this for loop will run for the very first time, on that time the y values will be 0, so it will come out of that for loop and it will enter into the second for loop, which is the x-axis, and it will move to x-axis till it reaches the end of the right side. So one will cover the entire x-axis, 300 pixels on x-axis. Now it will come to the next frame, next second pixels of y-axis. Okay, so this is how the entire this for loop will run unless they not reach the end of the image. Okay, I'll take a variable, and this will call position x, and x into 4. And the reason why I have taken x into 4, because each pixels will have 4 values, which we have already seen: green, red, blue, yellow, and alpha, which stand for white. Okay, so that's why x into 4. I'll take another variable, and this will call x, y, position, and this also 4, because y will have the same value. I'll take another variables, and this will call cover width, and this will contain the information that how far our functions have traveled. Okay, how far our functions have traveled. So this will keep the track of that. And I'll take the position y, multiply with this dot pixels width. Okay, and I'll take this position cover width plus position x. So here I will get the exact value that when and where, how. So this time I'll get the exact value when our entire loop will run, and each time it will run, it will give me a specific value, a specific positions of that 1 pixels, or as per the user input we can assign that particular location a value. So this will run pixel by pixels. We can even run on the base of 1 pixels and on the base of 5 pixels or 3 pixels. That's why I have provided the slider value, which will take an update, and on the base of that it will execute, read frame by frame. Okay, let's come here, let's write a if statement. So this dot pixels data and position plus 3. So here I'm looking for a third element, so alpha, which is alpha, and as we have seen that the alpha was 255, which is a stand. So here I'm setting a if statement on the base of alpha, and on the base of that I have to compare other colors. So don't need to worry about it, that all will make a lot of sense when we'll complete this loop. I know these things are getting very complicated because here we are writing a lot of if and statement, we are building a lot of logic. So just keep watching and following the tutorial. Okay, that will make sense. So here I will take 113. So here why I have taken 113, because I want to ignore black colors. So I'm only looking for the light colors. So the reason why I have taken 113, because I'm totally ignoring black colors. If you want to, you can easily decrease this value. If you want that, you want to assign symbols to black color also, so you can take it to 20 or something like that. But I want to ignore the black color, and I don't want to assign any color, any symbols to the black color. I want to assign only symbol to the lighter colors. So that's why I have taken value this roughly. So I gave a lot of tries, so I got this number suitable for this project, so I took this one. Okay, so let's come here. Let's console log this dot pixels, and let's come here and let's see, come into the data and let's make it side by side. So here you can see I told you that like alpha contains 255. So this is what we are comparing. 255 is the highest value and 0 is the lowest value, and in between that you can pick any value. Okay, so let's come here and I'll take a variable. This will call a red color, and pixels data, this data we have. So this data, as you see, it will give us an object, and in the data we have this positions. So first position is red, and second position 1 for the second, and position 2 for the blue. Okay, so first it will red, second it will green, third it will blue. Altogether we have 4. So we have already comparing the first one in if statement, and the rest 3 is red, green, blue, yellow, gray, sorry, red, green and blue. I'll take another variable total, and this time I will take the color of total. Okay, so red plus green plus, and I'll take an average color value, and I will divide by 3. I'll take another variable, this will call color, and range. So here I'm taking RGB. Okay, so red, this will be green, and this will be blue. Okay, I'll take another variable, this will call a symbol, and this I'll create another function, private functions, and we'll call a convert to symbol. So this is the function will be responsible for converting the color into symbols, adding a symbol on colors. Okay, in this I will pass 2 values. So average color value I will pass, and let's comment out this. Okay, let's bring it back. So average color value I will pass in that, and let's change this value to symbol gem, and let's see. So let's create that function here. Okay, so let's simply copy that and create that private field here. So if, and inside this I will pass nothing but the average color we are getting for each function, for loop function which we are running. From there we are getting the average color, and on the base of that average color we are assigning the symbols. So here I will compare the value. Okay, so if A is greater than 255, then have to add this symbols array 0. Okay, this is the array, and remember this array is coming from here in symbols array, this symbols array, this symbols array, and this symbols array contained all the symbols which user are providing and is storing in that, and 0 stand for the first and 1 stand for second. So this is how in array we start from 0, not from 1. So 0, that's why I'm providing this 0. I will simply copy that, and let's come here. Else if A is greater than 40, then I have to add this symbols 1 array, and simply replicate this couple of times and change the value. So 200, this one is 80, this one is 60, this one is, let's remove it, and 40, this one is 20, this one is 100, 80, 60, and 40, 20, and this else, and the last one is going to be empty. And let's quickly change these values: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 11, 12. Okay, so it will start from 0 all the way to 12. That means we have 12 array. So we have, and again I'm telling you, this color A is color. So on the base of the color value we are reading that, and each of the range will have a certain symbols. So if the A is greater than 0, then I want to add a first array element to that color portions, to entire color portions. If the color is greater than 30, if 240, then those color will come between 240 to 250, inside which those all color will have this icon, array second icon, symbols which user are providing. Same for the third. If the color value is greater than 220 and in between 214, so all those colors will have this icon. So this is what I'm doing here. So make sure you pause this video or try to analyze the code that what I'm doing here. Okay, simply come down. If statement total is greater than 200, then image cell push new cells create, and that I will pass this 4 element x, y, and the symbols and the color. So with this if statement, what I'm doing, I already have the total value and I'm comparing that total value. I'm saying that if the total value is greater than 200, then I only want to execute this and create symbols and add on the image. That's what I'm doing. So here I have taken this image cells and I'm taking the image cell and pushing all the symbols which will be created by this cells create, which is going to be another cells create function will be responsible for creating class, and then we are pushing that symbols into our cells array. Okay, so what I'm defining here. So let's come all the way up and let's try to create that cells create function, class. So class cell, so what's the name I have provided? Cells create, and I'll take the constructor, and here we are passing these 4 values. Okay, x, y, symbols and color. So I'll say this dot x, so this dot x is equal to x, this dot y is equal to y, this dot symbol gen is equal to symbol gen, and this dot color is equal to color. So here I have taken all the variables which is coming from these functions. Every time the value is higher than 200, it will get uploaded and it will have here. So I'll create a draw function, and here I'm creating a draw class, and here I'm referring a CTX, and this CTX is not from the private fill, it's coming from here right on the top. Okay, so CTX fill style, I'm assigning white color, let's mean a small letter, and CTX fills style text because it's a text, and in this I will pass the symbols which I want to draw, and I have to pass the x and y coordinates. So okay, so let's make it on a big screen, and so let's create another private method which is called draw image, and inside that this dot I will call the private CTX, and I will clear the use the clear at function, and I provide x and y 0 0, width is this and height is this. So here I want to clear my canvas. Okay, so what this function will do, clear rag, will remove everything from the canvas, and I will run a for function, let y is equal to 0, and this dot image cell length if I is plus plus, and this image cell I on and dot I will run a draw function this. Okay, this looks perfect. Let's come down, I'll call the draw function, and in this I will pass the cell and this dot scan image. In this I will pass the exact value which I am getting from the user, and I will call the draw image function right from here, and it will pass the value on the scan image. Okay, so everything's working good. Let's come around here and let's create another function. This will call handler image, and in this I will write a if statement. I said input slider because I want to take this input value. Okay, and on the base of that I have to display the size of the icon. So input value is deeply equal to 1. If it's 1, then I want to say input label inner HTML and original image. Okay, so if the value is by default 1 or the user providing is 1, then I want to display original image. Okay, once the user upload the image, then I call my CTX and I'll use the draw function on that, and inside that I will call this image 1 0 0 and canva width and canva height, and which is nothing but it's a draw function. So there are 2 methods in draw on canvas. We are using the second method where we pass 4 or 5 arguments for drawing image on the canvas. Okay, so let's come up here. So let's come here. I'll like else if user provide any value more than 1 pixels, then we want to do the changes on the image. Okay, so I'll take input label and dot inner HTML, and I'll type resolution plus input slider, the value which I'm getting from the user, and I will add this pixels with pixel. So let's see what's the matter. I'll take the CTX and font size I want to insert and pass int input slider dot value 1.2 pixels, and I have to provide the font family. Then I take the image effect and I'll call this draw parsed in functions, and in this I will pass this input slider value. So let's come here, let's call that function inside this load function. Okay, as you can see, it's working fine. So we are successfully able to change the image. As you can see in the demo, we are changing all the white colors, but we are ignoring the dark color. So let's come here and let's make it this 5 and let's 10. So here it's working, but the slider is not working. What's the problem? Oh, I know what is the problem, because here I'm not adding an event listener on the input fields. So how it will change the value? Okay, so let's get the input slider and add event listener on that, and this time I'm looking for a change, and I will call this function handler image. As you can see, the moment now it will working fine. We are updating the value, and this function is also executing, and this everything's working fine. So let's make it big. Let's click here and let's try to upload the image. So let's come here and let's upload this one, and let's add an image, but nothing is happening. Okay, we are assigning to this here. Okay, here it's 1, not COD, it's 1. So this is the mistake I made. That's why we are not uploading our image. Okay, I think now it will work fine. So let's come here, upload the image, and select the symbols, and here it is. So it's working fine. We can easily able to increase the icon size, and everything's working fine. Paste here. So by default I want to load this and provide this image. So by default it will have this one. When the page will load, it will have this default image, but when user will provide, this data will get updated. Okay, let's say image1 dot source and change this image to something else. Okay, let's come here, reload the page. I think something's wrong here, and now it's working. So as you can see, it's working fine. We can easily able to change and perform the tasks. So everything's working fine.